Hello guys, in today's video I want to teach you to give a checkmate with just one rook and the king against the king. So I have very good memories about this endgame, but first of all, look at this position. This is the position that we want to reach in order to checkmate black's king. So if you succeed to push black's king to the corner and just attack it with the rook, it's a checkmate. This king cannot go anywhere, basically, because our king is guarding a7 and b7, and our rook is guarding b8, and it also attacks the king. So it's a checkmate. So why I say that I have a good memories about it? It's because I learned to checkmate with a rook and the king even before I learned to checkmate with a queen. So accidentally it turned out that I played in a tournament after a month of learning chess, and in this tournament I faced a weak player that Mr. Ruka somewhere. So we got to this endgame. I remember the position was something like this, and I didn't know how to checkmate with a rook and the king. So I had to realize and invent a method during the game, and I succeeded to invent a method that I'm using till today. And during the game, I really thought that I'm genius, but after the game, my trainer said that everyone is using this method to checkmate with the rook and the king. So let's start, and I'll try to explain you how you can use this method and how I use this method to checkmate my opponent back then. So this method is called the box method. What we are gonna do, we gonna limit black's king from escaping from this box. So what we're gonna do, we just gonna create a box with our rook, and our opponent's king won't be able to get out of the box. I mean, this black king can just stay in these squares, which I point in red. Okay, so these are the only squares that black king can stay in. So let's say the king is going to d6. Now we're gonna play rook to e5. And now what we did is we cut off the king one more time, but now this king has a box of 4 on 3. Okay, and let's say the king comes to c6. Now we go to d5, and then this king has the box of 3 on 3. So now we are basically pushing this king to the corner little by little. So let's say the king is going to b6, and now we cannot play rook to c5. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just bring our king to c4, and now after the king goes to b6, now we can go to c5. And now one more time, we just boxed the black king, and little by little he is coming to a8, where we will checkmate him. So let's say the king comes to, okay, if the king comes to a6, then we just play rook to b5, and then the king has just 3 squares, sorry. And if the king comes to b7, let's say, now we want to trap this king one more time and play rook c6. But here it of course doesn't work because black can just take a rook. So what we should do, we should just bring our king to b5 or to d5, it doesn't really matter. If we come to d5, then king to b6, king to d6, and now after the king goes, we can go to c6. But of course the main move, not the main, but the best move is king to b5. Now the king has just 3 squares to go. Let's say king to a7. If the king comes to b8, then just we will just play king to b6, and after the king to a8, you can stop the video and find a mate in one, but I don't think it's a big problem. It's just rook to c8. So we were in this position. Okay, so if the king doesn't come to b8, if it comes to a7, so here we can just give a check. King comes to b8, and now king to b6 one more time. We just boxed the king to the corner, and where the king comes to a8, we can just give the same checkmate. Rook comes to c8, and it's a checkmate. So let's do it one more time. Let's put our rook on a1, our king on h1, and let's throw this king somewhere, I don't know. Okay, on f8. So now, first thing that we should do, we should bring our king to the opponent's king. So let's do it. King to g2. As you may see, black wants his king in the center, so it will be harder for white to box it out to the corner. But nevertheless, we will do it regardless of what black actually wants. So king to f3, king to d5, king, let's say king to e3. Okay, and we reach this position, and now when the king is close to the other king as possible, now we can bring our rook. So let's give a check. King goes backwards, and now we are going to e4. So let's say the king comes to f6. Now, how we can box this king? How we can box him in this little square? I'll give you 5 seconds. Okay, so if you didn't find it yet, you can pause the video, of course, but to those who find the move, it's rook to e5, and this move just cuts the king off and box it out to the h8 square. So let's say the king comes to g6. If it comes to f7, then of course king to f5, and the king is too close to the corner. So I think the only move here is king g6. Now we can just one more time box the king out. Where should we move the rook? You can pause the video, or if you don't want to pause the video, I'll show you. It's rook to f5. And now we one more time boxed this king into the 6 squares that he has now. So now the king goes backwards, and now we just bring our king little by little, and in this position we'll bring our king to g5. And here's the position that in this position we can just give a check, come to g6, and I think from this position where a rook stands on f6, you can stop boxing your opponent's king because it's already in the corner, and you can just think how you can checkmate him. Usually it doesn't take more than 3 moves. So now king to g6, king to h8, and how white will checkmate black here, mate in 1. So it's rook to f8. So the first step is to bring your king as close as you can to the black's king. So don't afraid if your opponent will just run away. It's in your favor because black wants to leave his king in the center. Yes, he don't want his king in the edge of the board. Okay, when you came as close as you can to the black's king, now you bring your rook, and regardless of where the king goes, you need to cut him or box him. Like here it's rook to e4, and here is the first box. Now the black king cannot escape from it. Or let's say what happens if the king comes to c3. So here you one more time bring your king as close as you can to the black's king, and if let's say if king b3, then you bring your king. And once your king is as close as it can be to the opponent's king, now you just give a check, or you come to c1 to make a box. Yes, I of course prefer the check to move the king to the side of the board, and now we can just easily win with the box method. Rook to b4, then rook to b5, and then we're slowly bringing the king to play rook b6. Okay, and here we want black to play king a7 to box him out, but here it is a white to move, so I just need to waste a move. Just king to c6 is a good waste of move. king to c7, rook b6, and here you should be careful to not play rook to b7 because it's a stalemate. Stalemate is when your opponent's king cannot move anywhere and no one is threatening him, so this is a draw. So in this position there's a mate in 3, you can try to find it, or or if you don't want to find it, I'll show you. It's rook to a6, king to b8. We just let's imagine that it's black to move, so the only black's move is king to c8, and if the king will come to c8, there's a mate in 1. You can pause the video and find it, but it's very basic. It's just rook a8, the only check in the position. So imagine that it's black to move, black will go to c8, and then we'll checkmate him in 1 move. But here it's white to move, so we just need to just waste a move. We just need to waste a move and give to black to play to c8, and then we'll checkmate him. So how do we waste a move in this position? I'll give you 5 seconds. So if you were unable to find the move, I want you to stop the video and to try to think for at least a couple of minutes. But for those who found it, you are a good player. It's just rook to a5. We just going backwards one move, and it's a complete waste of move. But now black is forced to go to c8, and it's a mate in 1 here. So thank you for watching this video. I hope that this video was helpful for you, and see you later. Goodbye.